I had heard about a book, When Women Invented Television by Jennifer Keishin Armstrong. And it's got one chapter in there about, or quite a few chapters about Betty White. She was one of 4 women who this author recognized as really starting the whole television industry before it was became owned by the patriarchy, and who saw it as a revenue generator. And this was a fertile ground for women to use their entrepreneurial insights to really appeal to audiences. And Andrea, maybe you know some things about her too, but it sure seems that, from radio, she learned how to improvise quickly, right? She worked very hard. She worked long hours. And in that field, I would imagine that improv really helps you become a really creative spirit.
Absolutely. I mean, the age-old system of improv is yes and especially back then when they were doing live radio, you didn't have the option to edit out, like the fact that I just cleared my throat. You can edit that out. But back then you just had to make it work, and they had limited sources. They couldn't sit there on their computers and figure things out or look things up on their phone. They had to just make stuff up or fly by the seat of their pants and go by whatever knowledge they had. And it must have been exciting and scary at the same time.
And she seemed to have a philosophy, which I don't know how we all feel about it. It would be good to hear everybody's thought about it. But whenever she was asked if she could do a particular skill, like, can you sing? She would say yes. And she would, go and do it very confidently. Mm-hmm. She always said yes to the next opportunity. I thought that was kind of interesting how that opened the door for her in so many different genres that she could move.
It's true. And especially I think as a woman, there's the fake it till you make it philosophy in life in general, but especially in this business of entertainment. I mean, I have a friend who was asked they wanted her to do a national commercial, and they said, can you do a dive off of a high board? She was like, of course I can. She had no experience in it whatsoever. None. Like, she had limited experience doing like light stunt work, but she had no experience. So she said, yes, she booked the gig. And so she had to go out and train for it. She had to go get someone to train her to do it. But back then, as a woman, if you wanted to stay in the business, and it's still valid today, you have to kind of yes and.